Hey guys, Courtney Epps here, and I am so excited to have my friend Patricia here with me. And I just have to share, we met 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks
Yes.
ago. It was so awesome. We were on a mastermind together in Long Beach Island, New Jersey, and had such an amazing time. So thank you so much, Patricia, for being on here with me today.
My pleasure. It was such a great time.
Yes. So this version of What's Your Plan B? Why You Be Brain Dead, Not Own a Home Based Business, Patricia, it's a really great experience because she is a W-2 employee and she's also a home based business owner doing some pretty amazing things. So, Patricia, if you could tell everybody kind of what you do, your background, and also just tell them why you got involved in the home based business in your business from home.
Perfect. So I'm currently a director at the Walt Disney Company for International Trade Management. It's pretty much managing import export compliance. I've been in the industry or in that field since my time in college as an intern in college and pretty much never left that field. I just grew in different spaces and places of it, from technology to defense products to commercial products, and then landed here in the beautiful, magical world. And so, in this space, the reason or how I ended up transitioning into a home based business is because with what I do now in trade management, I love what I do. I love my profession. I love the things that we're able to do, the way we're able to collaborate and bring just different areas of the business together to communicate in ways that they've never done before. But I also love developing leaders. I really love helping women become leaders. I really love helping young leaders really thrive in that space and excel in who they are with purpose and drive. And so for me, it was, I've got to find a way to do this differently. I've got to find a way that I can actually pour this out outside of just the one at a time, one person, one version kind of thing. And so that's what made me create the my first steps in leadership development. But COVID is what made me actually create a virtual retreat for women, which is a feminine energy restoration retreat that women can do at home to actually find like a sacred space in their homes to themselves and make it a nurturing place at all times. So, yeah.
I love it. So, how long? I know you said you've been at the Walt Disney Company since college. How long ago was that?
Well, actually, no. It's not that I've been at the Walt Disney Company since college. It's that I've been in the field of trade management since college. But I've been in Disney since 2015 because there was a time where I actually left my career. I took a sabbatical for a year and decided to just backpack around the world to figure out who the heck I am.
Wow. So where did you go?
Ooh, so I started in South Korea.
Wow.
And really, I've always wanted to go to Seoul ever since the Olympics were out there. You know, as a young girl, it was like, oh my gosh, I really would love to see that country. So went out there, indulged in all of the food of South Korea. And then I went over to Thailand. I spent a month in Thailand where I did a yoga intensive retreat program. It was like a full immersion retreat, or not even a retreat, a full immersion training program. So it was 6 days a week, 1 day off for 30 days. And I was really happy because I had gained some weight over in Korea. So that was fun. I went from there to Bali to
Wow.
Australia, from Australia to Israel, from Israel to Jordan and Egypt. And then I made my way to Europe and Hungary, Croatia, Slovenia, Italy, and then I landed in Spain, did the coast of Spain, Barcelona, Girona, and then from there I came back home.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, and the cool part is that and you said you took a year off, but
Hmm.
had you been a business owner at the time, you wouldn't have had to take off. You could have actually still continued to work some and play a lot, and life would have been completely different, right?
Totally. But I couldn't control that space. It had to be one or the other, either full time in this space or, full time in seeking out who I am.
And the great thing, what's funny, and I'll just share this is that had you been in business at that point in time, attempting to earn an income or learning to earn an income, that would have been 100% tax deductible trip for you.
So true.
So, it's just so crazy to me. Like, people just don't think about those things because everything you learned there, you're now implementing that into your event that you have coming up next month, right?
Everything. Absolutely everything.
This is so,
All the details.
yes. So tell me, are you married?
No,
Any kids?
no.
So, we met and went swimming together in the Jersey Shore, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
surfing, you went surfing?
I didn't make it to the surfing. I was too busy talking on the beach, but I totally went in the water.
You did, and we ran into the water in the middle of the night with some
Yes.
crazy people.
Yes.
And like hurricane force waves like crashing down and beating down on us. It was insane, right?
It was wave under.
Exactly. Well, and you know what's so amazing, and I think what I really love about this is that you get the ability when you become a business owner. Not only are there some great tax deductions, but you get to meet some of the most amazing people. And me and you would probably never have crossed paths. Like, you're in Orlando, I'm here in South Carolina, and because we are focused on
Uh-oh. I think your side froze for some reason. Maybe the connection. For those of you who are live out there, if you can see me, hear me, is there a chat? Maybe I can see if you guys can hear me out there. I think Courtney's signal, her Wi-Fi has frozen a bit. Anybody out there?
oh, we're back.
Okay, perfect.
No clue what just happened. Um, so I was just saying that connection is so amazing to be able to connect with people that you would never have a relationship with, but you end up being like-minded individuals. So it's really cool that you could be in California and I could be here in South Carolina, or you could be in Florida and I could be in, Maine. And at the end of the day, we all come together.
Absolutely. I've met so many people from like all over the world. And Courtney's frozen again, but I've met so many people from all over the world, business owners from everywhere, that has truly like expanded who I am and helped me to grow even further in who I am and where I want to go, and assisted me in that space. It's a beautiful space of growth and share. And so yeah, I really love this space.
That's awesome. So I want to make sure, because I heard you, so I want to make sure the audience heard you. And I
Perfect.
don't know if they're working on some internet or something is going on, but I mean, I'm at my office and it should be really, really good. I'd say it's on 5G, but that doesn't mean anything. So just share with them one more time in case they didn't hear you, kind of why you love home-based business.
Oh, I just love the fact of the people that you do get to meet, as you were stating, and the fact that you actually, what I sought after in this journey, this 1 year journey of let me, step away from my norm. I'm actually growing a lot in the similar ways with connecting with other business owners and what they know and what they're doing, and really just being able to share in that space and share about how to manage personal life, family life, as well as business life, as well as finances, and learning some of the tips like what you've shared on what to do with your taxes and how to manage that best. Yeah. Can you still hear me? Is this still freezing? I seem to be moving okay. So I was wondering maybe if it was my side. Are you still there? I'm wondering if you guys can hear me or not. It says I'm in show, so hopefully you guys can still see me, hear me. Courtney's being rebooted. There she is.
Okay, I switched
Wi-Fi.
yeah, I switched to a different Wi-Fi. So, and then everybody's saying they can hear us. So it's
Okay.
like really weird. But hopefully that won't happen again. Catherine says we're good. All right.
Perfect.
So I'm so sorry.
No worries.
All right. So tell me, um, how did you? So you've got the women's event that you've got coming up,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's when is that event happening?
It is November the 13th, and it is bound to be a fun time.
And you'll have to post in here the link that you're going to have
Perfect.
this event. And one of the things that most people don't realize, and I love sharing, is that continuing education is a tax deduction. And so if you force yourself, right, to it, I don't do anything in my personal life that doesn't involve my business. And my intent is always to make money. And the reason why is because it's always a tax deduction. And when you understand that, like, you get smart about it. And you're like, okay, I can't write off personal growth and development, but I can write off continuing education. And how can I make this part of my marketing plan that I can go and just make relationships? Like, you don't have to go and like, I need to get 10 clients while I'm at this event. What I'm talking about is making amazing relationships with business women, with women of power that you could then go and utilize and create those connections later that one day may lead into a business relationship with someone. And when you treat everything that you're doing as if the end goal is to attempt to earn some sort of income, whether it's today or in the future, it becomes 100% tax deductible. So Patricia's event is now a tax deduction, right? So it's like a
Mm-hmm.
guarantee. Like, you're gonna have fun, you're going to learn, you're going to connect with some amazing people. You get to write off something on your taxes. So it's really cool, and you can do it from the comfort of your home, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. And
so
that's a beautiful highlight.
I'm telling you. So tell me kind of what you're going to be teaching them.
Oh my goodness. So we get into it's an elevation program.
Okay.
So we actually start off with really just stepping into the knowingness of yourself and being comfortable in your own space. Because right now there's a lot of, it's an ebb and flow of comfort and discomfort, certainty and uncertainty with everything that's going on mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, name it. It's all being transformed right now. So everyone's just trying to find their space of comfort. So the first thing that we step into is making you comfortable in your own space, finding that sanctity within and that sacred space within. So we walk through the foundation of self-love and what that looks like, because a lot of people tend to look at that space as self-love as being confident, knowing who you are, being driven, stepping into a room and being confident in that space. And that's not self-love. Those are elements of really standing in your space, owning your energy. Like, that's what that is. Self-love is deeper. It's a grounding space. It's a space that gives you a lot of earthy stance in who you are, right? So we build that foundation. That is the number one thing that I always hear from all of my attendees. They all come out day one stating, I had no idea that this is what self-love is. All of them, without fail. So that's the beautiful space. But then you step into, okay, what are all the things my mother should have told me about feminine care, but didn't, right? Like, all of those little precious little things that I learned from that year of backpacking, where it was like, oh my gosh, I wish my mom told me about this, like, basic feminine healthcare that was just something that you can pull from nature. Like, it doesn't have to be this big thing. The simplicity of being able to understand that you can actually do a beautiful floral steaming of your feminine space versus using like a douche. You know how it always like removes your good bacteria as well? So it turns out to be a terrible process. But
Yes.
your mom should have told you that there actually is a process where you can use a beautiful floral steaming process. And
Right.
that in and of itself changes the entire, it doesn't even just change the space, it changes you. Like it's a beautiful experience. So we get into that. But the other part that I really love to get into, because we females tend to not love to go ahead and talk about, we get all embarrassed about it, but around each other, we can be playful about it, is sacred intimacy.
Yeah.
What that looks like, how to speak out your voice, how to speak out your space, how to communicate with no words at all and get everything you want, right? So it's like being able to do all of those things. And then we step into things like, all right, relationships and visioning in regards to where you want to be 6 months from now. Because after going through this course, after going through this retreat program, you are not coming out the same. So when you come out the other side, what's the vision that you now have for yourself? Who's the woman you're going to be in this space? What do your connections look like? What do your relationships look like? And what is that feminine power now that you're residing in that space? So that's the beauty of the program.
I love it. And it just hit me. One of the things that, and I know I brought this up, is
Mm.
in the event that we were at, the mastermind, is that women have a really hard time with typically being around other women because they become vulnerable. And I typically hang out with men because they're very surface level. And I don't have to talk about my emotions. It's like, how's business? Business is amazing. We're doing this, blah, blah, blah. And they don't ever want to know or want to be involved in anything below that surface level.
Yeah.
And so, I think it's imperative that we as women come together and help each other understand what's going on in life. Because this is my third marriage. I had a really very abusive first marriage, and then my second marriage was a complete rebound, and then I married my first love. My high school sweetheart. When I was 10 years old, I met him, and so. But the thing is that people tend to give up really quickly, right? And they don't realize that there's lots of things that your mom probably didn't teach you and your dad didn't teach you about relationships. And I think that's probably what is going to happen here. And if you have parents who are not talkative, who don't talk about the bad things, they just really stay at surface level. It's very hard for women to be able to know where they can go and feel comfortable having conversations that they need to truly have, that they can't have it with their children, can't have it with your spouse.
Yeah.
A lot of times women don't even like to have conversations with their friends because their friends judge them.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not friends anymore, they're betrayed. And so they kind of keep it in, and then that causes toxins and oxidative stress and all these really bad things that you don't want to have happen. So it seems like that's what your event is actually going to be, helping people be able to come out and be able to share what they really need to share in a space that they feel comfortable sharing it in.
Absolutely. Because everything you spoke about, that toxicity, ends up impacting your internal organs. And then those internal organs begin to impact your body and your limbs and your flow and your energy. And it just keeps coming out more and more and more. And the more you're trying to resist it happening, the more now you start to deal with aches and pains and just all these other things that build up inside of you. And here's a moment that can free you of all of that. Like, free you of all of that. And that's the thing that I truly, truly love about this retreat, is the fact that when you bring women together like this, our intuitive nature, we have a bonding energy. And our intuitive nature is one that is able to go ahead and sift through the dust immediately. Like, we can sniff out truth and lies like nobody else, which is why men tend to lean on us to say, but what do you think? Even though they've gone ahead, worked out all the numbers, worked out all the facts, figured out all the details, right? When you have that partner, they're still going to go, but how do you feel about it? Like, what do you think? Because they know our intuitive nature is so powerful. It goes beyond reason. It's one of those things where I'm telling you, I don't feel right about this. You probably shouldn't do that. But all these numbers make sense. It's just my feeling. That gut feeling in and of itself is an answer. And when a man steps away from that to say, you know what, I'm not going to do this deal because, you know, there isn't the right feeling there, according to her. So that's fine. And it turns out to be the best decision they've ever made. That is what we are looking to fully restore within every woman, to stand in that space of power and knowing that you can stand in a room, in that space, in that energy, and it be pure and it be strong and it be beautiful. And it has no negative impact on anyone. It just has this beautiful space of welcome and connection. And here's the other thing about feminine energy that I failed at initially, because I'm so driven, right? Like I told you what my role is at Disney. Like everything about me is like, get it done, get in there, move in the challenge, you know, make sure it happens. Like I'm like fully like in go mode. That's a lot of masculine energy,
Yes.
right? To go and get that done. My feminine energy, when people were looking to give to me, I was totally resistant. I stood in the position of, I need to earn that first. You can't just give that to me. I've got to work at that. Or why are you giving me this? Let me give you something too. So
Yeah.
I was not able to fully receive in not having my energy restored. So that was one of my drivers as well.
I love it. And, and I didn't even know anything about this retreat when we got on here. So, what I love about what we're doing here is just having a conversation and trying to figure out how we can all help each other. Because I think that's what this is all about, is literally helping each other have a better life. And one of the things that I know my purpose is that to help people heal financially so that they can heal physically, mentally, and spiritually. But it has to start with financially, because you have to have the money in order to free up. You got to be able to free up money in order to have the things in life that you need, not necessarily just want, the things in life that you need, the proper supplements, the proper food, the proper, the ability to be able to go to retreats and learn the things that you need to learn in order to be more successful. Not only that, but to also be happy and fulfilled and joyful. And all of those things you can truly have together if you're focused on helping other people get there. So, my mission statement, and it's not only my mission statement here at OTB Tax, but it's my mission statement in life, is to teach more, how to save more so that they can have more, live more, and give more. Because I think giving is truly the meaning of life. And then I,
Yes.
in turn, I make money by doing those things, obviously, rightfully so. I'm teaching people how to keep more of their money, how to have a better life, how to live more of that life, and then how to give more back. And then I can take the money that I make and give, not only provide for my family, more, live more, give more, but I can nourish more children and I can free more children from sex trafficking. And though, when you truly find a way that you can combine your passion and your profits and help people find a purpose that's bigger than their problem, like life just becomes quite amazing. And you no longer need a vacation from your life.
Yeah.
Your life is partly a vacation. And, I love the fact that we connected, and that I went to that event. Like, it was super last minute. I needed to be working. And it's like, you know what? I am working. Like, I'm going to this event. I'm meeting new people. I'm eventually creating relationships. I'm creating mergers that we can connect together. And, people I don't know, and I know people you don't know, and we can help people. Like, you can help people. I can help people that I know go to your retreat. You can help people that save more money in taxes, so we can help them go to more retreats. Like, it's just a win-win situation. And no, I'm not making any money off of this. Patricia doesn't make any money off of me. It's just a great connection. So, Patricia, if you will put in the chat, but before we leave here, because I want you to speak and share kind of last minute thoughts, but I want you to make sure you put in the chat your how people can find you and reach out to you, and how they can go to your retreat if they want to be a part of that. And just share whatever's on your heart and mind that you want to tell everybody. And I appreciate you being on here with me.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much. And I just want to highlight what you're highlighting in the fact that being in the space of having a home-owned business, and really just being able to, one, control your time, control your health, your wealth, to really be able to be in a state in which life is of your own design, that you are not at the mercy of anyone. Like, that in and of itself is a beautiful place and a beautiful state. So it's not being a victim to what's happening right now and what's happening within the world, but knowing that within every single space of any obstacle that comes into your world, it's not really an obstacle, that it truly is an opportunity that is disguised as an obstacle. Like, that was something that I learned this weekend in those terms at Leadership Academy. I went to the Tony Robbins Leadership Academy this weekend. And I love that they said that, because for me, I always looked at, with every challenge, everything that comes, but what's in it? What's around it? What's under it? I always ask my question, what is this moment here to teach me? What am I here to learn from it? So with every person who's currently right now looking at, can I do this? Can I really build this business from home? Or if you are doing a business and you're trying to figure out, how are the ways that I can do this better? Connecting with someone like yourself, Courtney, and being able to really see, what are all the perspectives of managing a business? What are all the ways of being able to save and to plan better, right? Like, we all have the opportunity to plan better. Like, we're all doing it. We're all figuring out ways to, come through this economy and come through this space. But there's always a growing space. There's always an upgrade. And the best way to do that is through connection, and connection like this, and making sure that you are pretty much picking up the phone, making that phone call, or sending that email, and making your way to individuals like you to really start to see things just a little differently, because that one difference can mean everything.
Yes. Yes, I love it. And I appreciate you sharing that. And you're right. I mean, for me, because I've combined so much of everything that I do with feeding children, freeing children, providing safe drinking water, like, there is no being scared of not making a connection. There is no not getting on the phone. There's no not going to work every day. Because not only am I focused on creating a legacy for my children, which is something I have got to do, because I don't know what's going to be available here very soon in this world. I want them to be able to work for themselves and take care of themselves. But the other aspect of that is that when you have intertwined your passion and your profits, you can't not go to work. It's like, well, children die, so I can go to work today, or children will die.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. Like, it's such a part of an integral part of what I do every single day. So I appreciate you being on here, Patricia, and sharing your story. I know, guys, thank you for staying with us with the glitches that we've had. We'll edit those out and make this a YouTube video. And if you'll make sure, Patricia, you post in the chat your info. And then I've actually posted in the link that you can text a number and receive a tax deduction spreadsheet, and then all of the contact information for us. So I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing day, and thank you so much.
Thank you. All the info's in the chat. Bye, guys.